All right, good afternoon. Methodical Man here, coming to you guys today with another backtest session. Today we are going to look at the initial balance, using it with, pairing it with a 5-minute wick test. So basically, if there's no wick test that aligns with the initial balance, we are not going to take a trade. And if you don't know what the initial balance is, it's simply the high and the low for the first hour the market is open. So between 9:30 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. Eastern, the high and the low. So we want to see the high and the low leave a wick on the 5-minute chart. And so we would like for the high and the low to actually sweep some level of liquidity. So like in this instance, I would like it better if the opening print had swept this high or swept this low. But as you can see here, it just did not. Doesn't mean we still won't use it. We'll still use it here in the back testing. We'll figure out what makes the most sense as far as like targets and things like that. So initially, I think that we're just going to do the back test looking for 10 to 20 points, depending upon if there's a lower target or something to that nature. So let's just get into it here. And basically what we're going to be looking for is a break and retest. We need to get on the 1-minute chart, though, to do this. So we want to take the trade off the 1-minute chart, but we want to make sure there's a wick on the 5-minute, right? So we're looking for a break and a retest here of the initial balance high or the low, whichever one happens first. And the first test is the best test. That sort of idea. So boom, right there. That's about 8 points up. So I'm okay with that. I didn't mark out a higher target, though. Let's turn back here. Let's move back. This might get hit before we even get a chance to get in up here at the 1510s. And then this next target up kind of be there. All right, let's play one. Let's go ahead and get our order on the book because we don't want to miss it, right? So we're going to take, and we'll front run the initial balance by like a point or so. And I think we'll start out targeting, say, 15 points. I think that is a decent amount to start out with. So a little 1-to-1 risk to reward, risk 15 for 15, that sort of game. So something like that. So let's get our order on the book here. And we'll risk 0.5% each trade. Buy, limit, save. So we're going to be looking for a retest. Let's see if we get it. All right, are we tagged in there? I believe that we are. And the only time we're going to move the stop on this particular back test is if we're like 8-9 points into the green, then we'll move the stop up to break even. And there we are. So that's a nice clean winner. Let's go to the next day. And the next day open should take us straight to the 1030 candle, which it does. And then we just need to mark out the high and the low for the first hour. So we'll find our 930 candle. All right. So that's the high, obviously. That's the low. And let's take this one off. And, you know, I don't, in the interest of not having this video be, 5 hours long, we will, so we still have, we'll only do maybe 10 of these, maybe 15, how many ever we can get through in 20, 30 minutes. So I'm going to try to just kind of move along here at a reasonable speed for you guys. So let's go ahead and play it. And the interesting thing is I don't love it when it's at the lows, like when the initial balance is like formed at the low there, like right at 1030. I don't love that, but So we want to see a breakthrough. We don't want to just see a wick below, obviously. So like, oh, I didn't hit it. I didn't pause it. But like to me, this closed below, I guess it is. Is that 7 points? I mean, I guess it is 66 to 15. I guess it is 7 points. All right. So we'll have to see if this tags us in. We've already retested it once here. So let's get our order set up there. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Darn it. Short, not long. Get out of here. And again, we're going to go for a 1-to-1 15-point stop for a 15-point reward. And later on, we will adjust that accordingly to maybe shoot for bigger targets, bigger RR. But for now, I think this is perfectly fine. Place order. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to do this, but hold on 1 second. All right, let's see if we can't get tagged in on this. We got a limit order placed there. And like this is the thing here, guys. So that's a direct winner. We're going to have to just park that in our mind that that was a winner because that was my mistake. I should have had that on there. So it should be 2 wins, no losses at this point. So we'll just remember that. And let's mark out the high and the low. And yes, this is how I like to do my back testing, guys. I'm going to manually back test over, you know, not manually back testing any day of the week there. All right, so let's look at the 5 minute here. Should have a nice wick here. So we got a wick there, nice wick there. The high made a new high. The low did not. It's kind of middle of the range, but it did sweep some liquidity, so I don't hate it. And obviously we still have targets lower, so let's see what we get here. If we get an opportunity on number 3, looking bullish there. And again, what things do we not know while we're back testing? We don't know if there's news. We don't know if there's not news, so on and so forth. I actually preferred the long here over the short. I just said that because, you know, because it actually made a new high. And that's something in my mind that I think is better, but maybe it's not. But in my mind, I think it is. But, I mean, I could be wrong, right? Who really knows? Save. All right, let's see if we get a retest. Let's see how she goes. Tagged in. And death to us. So there you go. That's, what is that now? 3 wins, 1 loss, I believe. And there you go. I thought the fact that it was that it made a new high there was good, but in that scenario, it didn't really matter. Did not matter in that scenario. All right. So just quick peek at the 5 minute just to make sure, you know, yeah, they're wicks there. And again, I kind of like the downside here, just based on what I'm seeing, double bottom, that sort of thing. That's roughly 10 points, 10 points below there. So let's get our order on. We'll take a short right there. Again, 1-to-1. And, like, these stops are arbitrary, right? I mean, like, you could see this and say, all right, the stop has to go up here in order for this trade to make sense, right? You could do that. Excuse me. But just for this purpose, we're not going to do that. And like one of the things that would be nice that you could do is mark out the Asia high and the low, London high and low. And if those are left and they haven't been swept, then that would give you kind of a good idea of something to kind of shoot for there. Is if the Asia high and low, London high and low are left as a target higher or lower, then that would be interesting, right? All right, looks like we had a nice swift reaction right off initial balance low there, hit our TP. Let's go. That's how you want it to happen. Alrighty. So obviously we had news on this day. Look at that big boner candle to the downside there. So that's going to be the low, and then the high. I mean, it's pushing through as we kind of start here. I mean, there's no wick. There's no real wick on this setup here to the upside. But the fact that we have a data high up here, if we could get a quick push through and a bounce back, then I would think that would work a large portion of the time. This might be something where you just don't take it because there is, again, it's not really a wick here on the 5-minute, right? And that's kind of what we're looking for. But we will go ahead and try it just in case we get a retrace. Because we have an obvious target to the upside. All right, let's go ahead and zoom in because these candles on this thing are huge compared to the other ones there. So again, if this doesn't come back before it hits this to tag us in, I don't know that I want to take it any more beyond that. So let's see if we get a pullback. Ooh, did that? Okay, so that got us in right there. That got us right there, I believe, right? Yep, sure did. So that's exactly what we were looking for there. Nice pullback. I front run this by a few ticks. Came back, tagged us in, bam, in and out. Quick. That's the reaction you want. Next day open. And we're running this on from about 6 months ago. That's kind of what we're running. So we're starting about 6 months out on the price action there. You can already tell that's going to be a wick on the 5-minute. So is that. You don't even need to look. I mean, when it's a wick on the 1 minute, it's going to be a wick on the 5-minute, right? Interesting thing is we have a big gap above us. I mean, we got targets in both directions. I like the look of this one. This would be like my favorite, just based on what I've been seeing since I've been using this. This would be my favorite type of look. So let's go ahead and play it. And I don't really care in this scenario what side gets swept first. Doesn't seem to make a difference on this one, but we'll see. And I'm using FX Replay if any of you guys are wondering. Also, the Bulenox 90% off sale. While we got you here, we may as well mention that. That is going to end, making this video on the 30th. That's going to end on the 31st. The 80% off APEX, the code above me there, that's also going to end on the 31st. If you guys want to pick up a 250K, 150K, 250K, or a 300K account, those are going to run you $40 for the eval, and then the lifetime activation fee of $85 will be valid until August the 15th. And then Obviously, Take Profit Trader, they've raised the number of funded accounts you can have to 5, and they're doing a 50% off sale currently. And of course, my funded futures, the $80 all in, you get an extra $5 off, $4 off if you use the coupon code MM. Topstep, as always, we're just going to go ahead and make our commercial here. Topstep, as always, is a really good option as well. And who are we forgetting? We did Topstep. We did Bulenox, Take Profit Trader. We did all of those. I don't know who we're forgetting. Somebody. But all the links are in the description for those. If you guys want to support the channel, go ahead and use my links. We do appreciate it. Ooh, going to the moon here. Tagged in there. It's not the reaction you really want to see there. Now, back above this, I was going to say it. Back if we got, so here's the thing. On that one, what did we run up? We ran up 10 points. So there's probably a decent probability that I move the stop to break even on this trade here, and I'm going to show you why. I don't know, though. We did leave. I mean, we left equal highs here, but we did have an imbalance there. I mean, it's just a loser. It does feel bad that we're up 10 points on it, and then we get stopped out for a loss. But, you know, we're targeting 15 here, and that might be, maybe it's on the aggressive side. I don't know. We're going to find out over time, right? So we're trying to build like an idea of what, you know, how many points can we get out of this setup? Can we get 10? Can we get 15? And it should tell us that as well. Again, this is one of those scenarios where, like, there's really nothing to the left. And we're going to be breaking right through there. So let's see on the 5 minute. This probably is a small wick. Yeah, just a small wick there. All right, let's pop it on. See what we get. We're close to the whole number there. All right. That's going to be good enough for a long. So let's put it in here. Front run it by just a little bit. And there it is. Let's place our order. Zoom in a little bit so we can see it a little better here. All right, let's play her. Chopping around here kind of above initial balance, which I don't. Again, the longer it takes to kind of come back like that, you want it to kind of come back with a little bit of speed. But the longer that it takes like this, how it's just grinding higher, I don't know that I love it. But we'll leave it on. We'll leave it on and see what happens. Yeah, this thing's just going to the moon here. And I would probably say, depending upon how we act here, you know, whether or not I leave this on. Coming into the lunch hour here. Probably going to be just a no trade day on this day. Let's see, though. Unless we get some sort of lunch reversal or something. We're in the lunch hour there. No real reversal. Feels like if we come into 1 o'clock, and we're not tagged in, that we probably don't get tagged in. And this is one of those ones where when it takes this long to come back to it, I don't know how much I love it at this point. Oh, slow it down. Looks like it's going to be a death candle here and just a quick loss. Yep. So did get some sort of reaction there. And this is one of those ones, honestly, I probably don't take this. We got 8 points out of it on the bounce there. But that's probably one I probably just scratch. But since we're back testing, I think it's fine. I think it's completely fine to take it. I mean, when it takes all day to get back to you there, that's a little, it's kind of your sign, right? And this will be just a small snippet, guys. It's not going to be like a full-on back test. I mean, it's just going to be a small snippet in time here to just see what the relative win percentage is, you know. My guess is you probably could scope this in at around 70-75% if you really dialed it in and you were picky. And you just took kind of the 10 points on the trades. I think you could probably dial it into 70-75% with a 1-to-1 R, which would be pretty solid. Pretty solid. Got a range bound on this day. Staying inside that 1 hour candle here, coming up on 11:30. Maybe that means the range means something. I don't know. What do you guys think? Comment down below. Does the range mean something at this point? There we go. So, I will say, being at the whole number, I don't hate it, but I'm going to be a little more picky about my entry here. Did I not hit that? I'm not even going to front run this one. It's going to be a direct. It's got to be a direct entry here because, you know, I expect some sort of pushback above the whole number. That's my thought process. I actually don't hate where the stop is on this, though. Seems reasonable. So, place order. Save. And let's see what we get. Tagged in. And that's why I said I expect a pushback up. That's deeper than I expect. I thought I hit play. So stopped out. This probably, I was going to say it probably still works, but nope. We still had a clear target down there too. Yeah, that's definitely more of a push-up than I would have expected. I want to play this a little longer because I'm curious on one thing here. So we have another wick test here. Now I'm not gonna take it, but let's watch it. Right? Let's watch this wick test. So if something like that. So we'd be tagged in there. Yeah, still would have lost. I was just curious. That's not one I'm taking. I was just curious as to how that would play out. All right, couple of losses there. Couple of losses. I mean, hey, you know, they're not all going to be winners, right? They are not all going to be winners. That's just how it is. Couple of wicks there. Let's go ahead and play this. Let's delete that. I didn't mean to hit that pause button. Just wicked above there, no close. Grab that liquidity and then move lower. I also will eventually backtest the no close above. So like if we wicked and closed back in the range to take the trade in the opposite direction, I will eventually. Oh, well, this one might be one of those ones there. So 460, 68, yeah, 51. So it would not have stopped us out yet. So let's put this on long, and so we're currently 9 points down, so we need a 6-point stop and a 25-point target, because we should have been in already and we're not. So we're going to keep the stop where it would have been. We'll just make the target a little wider. And it would have been a loser. Again, same scenario, like really never in profit on that one. 61, 5 points. 5 points of profit. Having some losers here, It's going to be a part of it. Yeah, no strategy is going to win every single time. And again, this is one where like, man, I just, if I'm looking for a 5-minute wick test, this is not really it when we want to try to include it with a 5-minute wick test. This would be, but the other one down there to the low is not really it. But that being said, maybe there would be one now. All right. Short it is. 15-point stop. I don't hate the stop on this one. This one, really, with the momentum down, it should work right away if it's going to work, right? Should be like immediate reaction. If it's not immediate, then probably just not going to work. Moving lower. And again, this is one of those ones where I think this has a high probability of losing just because of how long it's taking to come back. So, in the lunchtime here, getting a little reversal. I don't feel like we get tagged in on this, and if we do, it's probably just immediate death. This will be the second one where this scenario is played out. The first one was an immediate loss. So we'll see how this one plays out if we get tagged in at all. $2:00. Doesn't look like we're going to even get a trade on this one. And that's okay. 2:30, 2:45, 3:00. Probably not going to be taking this at 3:45 in the afternoon. All right, no trade. No trade. Here's the 930. Right there. And then obviously pushing up to the highs already. Let's play it out. Can't zoom in so we can see here. I mean, that went 4 handles. I'm not going to say that's enough. That's probably not enough for me. This thing is moving way too fast. Trying to put it on 1. There we go. So we want to get a push above here and a retest. So far, it's just been resistance, which is nice because it does mean that this area means something, right? When you got it, when it keeps rejecting that area, that means it means something, but we'll see. All right, let's see here. I thought we were going to get a little more of a immediate kind of test of it there. Coming into noon here. Just kind of chopping. Grinding lower. There's 1 o'clock. Again, that's just a peak above. That was not even 4 points. 2 points. I need to be like 7, 8, 10, something like that on a push above. Two o'clock hour. Here it comes. That's still not, I mean, that's still just 20. A lot of resistance at that level there, man. Coming up on 3 o'clock. All right. Now, but look at the time of day. 3:15. I don't know that I'd be taking this at 3:15, but in the interest of being thorough, I mean, I do think if we get tagged in, this thing probably goes. Just because it's been like resistance all day, right? Tagged in. There we go. Yeah, with that being resistance all day, you kind of figured that probably would still work. All right, we're going to do one more, and then we'll look at our stats. look at our stats. All right, that's going to be good enough. That's about 7 handles, 8 handles above. It's going to be good enough for me. Long position here. Risking 15. And targeting 15. Place the order. Save. Let's run it. Wow, did we not get tagged in there? Yeah, that's one where I don't know if I still take this on that not getting tagged in there on a couple of wicks. Tagged in there and out. Perfect. Still a W trade, but that's a little clincher there for you. All right, let's look at the analytics on this back test. How many days we actually did. 10 total days. So actually 11 because we had that one winner where we did not take the winner, right? And look at this. Win rate's just 50%. So that's a little lower than I would like it to be. Actually, it should be 6 out of 11, which should be 50. I don't know what that is, 55%. But let's go down here and look at this. These are the numbers we really want to see. This is the max R on our trades, the winner. So 1-to-1, we know that. The ideal R. So that means that we could have gotten a 1-to-10 R on our trades. Instead, we took an average of 1-to-1. The max R would have been 41. Could have profited or break even. There was one where we could have profited or break even. And this says the max ideal RR is 2.52. So what this suggests is, even though we're looking for 1-to-1 at 15 handles, this is suggesting that we should be looking for 35-ish handles, 37. So we should be risking 1 and looking for like 35. And then if we did something like that, even if the win rate was only, say, 55%, at a 1 to 2.5 R, it's going to be quite profitable there. Trades are quite short. Average trade 6 minutes. Winning trade 4 minutes. Losing trade 7 minutes. You know. So there you go. A little bit less than what I expected. I was expecting us to be able to manipulate this up into the 70% range. Now this is a very, very small sample size. This is just a half a month. So we have to keep that in mind. But that's it. We'll try to we'll keep this here, and we'll continue on with the back testing on another day. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, and we'll see you next time.